Former Irish President Mary Robinson spoke Monday at Susquehanna University about being the first female president of Ireland and the importance of women in politics.
Well, I had been involved as a member of the Irish Senate for 20 years, and I had also practiced law as a barrister and taught law in my university in Trinity College. And we had 3 children. And in 1989, I decided to retire from the Irish Senate. And I thought my public life was over. I wasn't looking for or ambitious to be President of Ireland because the presidency in Ireland is non-executive, and it had been filled by 6 rather elderly gentlemen who were at the end of their career, either as a political or in one case a Chief Justice. And they didn't do very much. It was very honourable but not very relevant to Irish life. But the Irish Labour Party approached me and asked if I would consider being their candidate. And initially I wasn't very enthusiastic, but I kind of looked at the provisions of the Constitution and I decided, I can make the case for a much more active presidency. I didn't think I would win. I was making the case. In fact, the Irish bookmakers made it clear what my chances were, which was 100 to 1 against when it was announced. And also, I was determined to run as an independent, not as a party member. So that made it even more unlikely that I would be elected. But when I started making the case, the people of Ireland liked the case I was making. And the more I made it, the more they liked it. So in the end, I then got ambitious during the campaign, towards the end of the campaign, that I would actually like to fulfill that role. And I would very much encourage every country to have women at serious levels in politics, because when you have women and men in a more balanced role in politics generally, it's much better for the country. You get different perspectives. It's also true if you have, as we have now in Ireland, about 17% of the modern Ireland is non-Irish born. So we have quite a mix in Ireland. We're seeing that in our politics now, and that's also enriching. I certainly hope that there will be a woman president in the United States, in a very short time, and maybe even this time. Who knows? I say that because there are more and more women who are taking high office. I was part of the founding of something called the Council of Women World Leaders. I was President of Ireland at the time, and I went to Stockholm, where we had a few presidents or prime ministers elected, women, and I think Vigdis Finnbogadóttir had been president of Iceland. She was just ending her 12 years, and so she became the first chair of this council. I took my turn as chair a few years ago. The president of Iceland the prime minister of Iceland is now just taken the chair. She's a young woman. I met her when I was there for the memorial to the glacier that had died. But I think there are about something like 49 or 50 members. You can only be a member if you either currently are or have been elected president or prime minister of your country. So there are significantly more women. I mean, Jacinda Ardern is the Prime Minister of New Zealand at the moment. I think she's done a great job of putting New Zealand on the map in so many different ways, just because of her approach and how she does it, and her problem solving, and her response to that terrible mosque killing in New Zealand, the way she responded to that. So I'm very strongly in favour of women being in politics, because I think it's the balance that makes all the difference.